My name is Andrea Babich. I am the lead narrative designer for the game, and the game is Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. We call it a turn-based combat tactical adventure. That means that there are exploration elements, but there are a lot of turn-based combat. The story behind the game is that you have the Rabbids ending in the Mushroom Kingdom for reasons that you will find out later on when the game comes out, and something goes wrong. Some Rabbids become starting acting very aggressive, and Mario needs to face these Rabbids. They are creating turmoil everywhere, all around the Mushroom Kingdom. But Mario also meets some friendly Rabbids, which looks like kind of Mario fans, since they are dressed like Nintendo characters. So Nintendo characters and Rabbids team up, the good Rabbids team up to find out how to solve the mystery of this very Rabbids gone bad all around Mushroom Kingdom. Well, we started working on the game 3 years and more, 3 years and a half ago. But yes, we were, even for knowing what exactly the Switch was, the target was the Switch. And when, and it happened soon, we found out the specs, the specifications of the Switch, we were super happy, because the idea of being able to play the game on the run, commuting, at home, on TV, always was very spot on for the kind of dynamics our game is, because the turn-based is especially good for this kind of way of playing. If I can just try to condense it into one expression, is but I'm a super huge Mario fan. I mean, before even working for Ubisoft, I worked for Nintendo official magazine in Italy, so you know that kind of thing. But it's not only me; it's all the team. Because of many reasons, it's a sort of bunch of huge Nintendo fans. Our creative director Davide Soiani is a super huge Nintendo fan, so it was really a dream come true. Just putting Ubisoft expertise and all we know and all we do at Nintendo service, basically, to create something together was huge. Well, we had several ideas about what to do to make these two elements mix together. But in the end, we found that the Rabbids invade places, invade the spaces, invade the time eras. So we said, okay, let's do this. Let's put the kind of parody and humor of the Rabbids straight on into the real Mushroom Kingdom. So it's not like doing the spoof in your own game. It's really invading the real Mushroom Kingdom with Mario characters and doing the parody and the spoof there, together interacting with their character. And that was explosive. When we did the first animation tests, it was very strong, because the shape and the kind of slapstick humor of the Rabbids really fit well with the kind of humor animation of the Nintendo characters. They were very compatible. It's very physical kind of humor. Well, by coming to Mushroom Kingdom, it's not just that Rabbids arrive into Mushroom Kingdom, but they create a sort of strange vortex, and this vortex brings a lot of elements from the Rabbids world into the Mushroom Kingdom world. So the whole environment really gets changed, and you are going to find a really kind of nonsense humor, because not only Rabbids meet Nintendo enemies, but also incongruous elements from one world come into another. So you would not expect usually to find a toilet in the middle of Mushroom Kingdom, but these kind of things happen often. Then there's a lot of stuff to tell about how the Rabbids somehow merge with the enemies and elements of the Mushroom Kingdom, but I guess you have to wait for the game to know it. That kind of thing. There is a narrative reason for all these things to happen. That's the surprise. Yes. Well, Grant is amazing. It was another dream come true for us because we were, of course, also rare fans. So it was huge. It was huge, and he is an amazing person. Honestly, he's just not a great musician, but he did stuff. He overdid, put a lot of stuff inside. So he was amazing, and he put some references to old games. You find out which ones, but we really wanted to push on lots of original content, and we decided to go for a classical kind of score because it reminds us of the old cartoons from the 50s, the 60s, even American ones, and that kind of feeling of the orchestral score with this kind of slapstick humor really felt well together for us. In terms of story, I think that what we tried to do here was to give to some rabbits some new kind of feeling and behavior. The rabbits are rabbits, but since they are so good at changing their personality and impersonating everything, being the Mushroom Kingdom start to interacting with people, good-hearted heroes like Mario or Peach, really changed the way they act. And there's a lot of stuff going on in this sense. There are some characters, okay, you already can see that Rabbid Peach, for example, is quite a standout character, and there's a lot of stuff going on around there. So, and also with the other characters, a lot of things are happening. So. Well, of course, a leak is always something which gets you nervous because you are maybe in crunch time, you're super focused on doing the game, and this is somehow distracting you. But and you really want that you say, I want it to be a surprise, a total surprise. But in the end, the game was a surprise. When the E3 arrived, it was like when there are clouds, and at some point the sun arrives and all the clouds disappear and everyone is happy, and Miyamoto flies on the scene like an angel and says, "Hey, Davide Sogliani," and Davide cries, and everything happens just spontaneously, and people start hugging you, and it was so big. It was I think that yes, I can only say that the moment the game became real, it was the real surprise. It was the moment of the surprise. The stuff before was not so meaningful at that point. Well, that was the bet in the end. The good thing of this project for me was that from the beginning, everyone was like in the attitude of, okay, let's try. It's a crossover that many people would judge impossible. It's a new console. It's a genre which few people would associate to this kind of environment and visuals and IPs. But that was the strength in the end. Working with Nintendo, we realized that we have a common goal. And they were asking really us to create a Mario experience, a new Mario experience. So a new genre, something which wasn't done before by them. So putting the Ubisoft expertise to create something different. And a Mario experience is really giving accessibility, a huge accessibility, but huge depth too. You cannot have just one of them. You must be sure that in the beginning everyone can enter, and then they want to stay in the game as long as they start mastering it. So it's like the old saying, easy to learn, hard to master. It's hard because Rabbid Peach is such a steal scener. She steals the scene. Yeah, I had to say Rabbid Peach. I had to. Okay, the boring answer is that for me, as a Nintendo fan, this is the most crazy kind of crossover I can imagine. So I'm already satisfied. But if you ask me, I would like them to go on very Japanese stuff, like all the Tatsunoko cartoons. It's very old, from the 80s, 70s. Okay, but I'm old, so that kind of thing. But it's my personal feeling. Yes, Yataman, that kind of stuff.